all the stations.
Many people who are I think in the Mekong River, when I go down to the Mekong River, I saw many people who use Mekong River for life. It's very bad situation in Mekong River now.
People should pay more concern, pay more attention about how to protect the Mekong River. Mekong River is lower and lower.
In March 2010, the water reached its lowest level for 50 years. Could the major cause be found in man's attempt to conquer nature? To tame the rapids and roar of the Mekong with a cascade of dams? The Mekong, one of the great rivers of the world, coursing through 6 countries. From its source high in the Himalayas of Tibet, 4,900 kilometers long, its journey ends in the Mekong Delta of Vietnam. Rich in fisheries, wildlife, dolphins, and extraordinary biodiversity. This is the Amazon of Southeast Asia.
In Mekong River, give everything, food, give culture, give for life. Can when you don't have food, you can get food from Mekong River, vegetable, herb. Everything, and it's really important for the people. Mekong River same matter. I think Mekong River is matter.
But dark clouds are gathering. A storm of controversy hangs over the future of this great river. Black clouds beckon. The Mekong is moving towards a huge dam building program. Will the river become devastated by dams? A cascade of dams and reservoirs are being planned in the boardrooms of Chinese hydropower corporations, Thai companies and other developers, which could change the Mekong forever. To Chinese, Thai and Malaysian companies, development banks, technocrats and business lobbies, the Mekong is the dream of hydropower potential for an energy-hungry region. But to the fishermen, small farmers, millions of villagers along the Mekong, this taming of the raging torrents with a cascade of dams is not a dream. This developer's dream is a fisherman's nightmare. 65 million people in this region are dependent for food and livelihood on a healthy Mekong that long sustained their ancestors. If the fast-flowing currents are transformed into still reservoirs, the Mekong will be transformed into a devastated ecosystem.
Because their life is depend on the Mekong River, and it's not only affect to Lao people, and not only in Vientiane, it's the center of Laos, and up to North Laos is depend on fish from Mekong.
Kuti Roykeo is a teacher and environmental activist in Chiang Khong from the Thai side of the Mekong. He has educated 55 communities in a lively campaign to save the Mekong.
Before have upper in Mekong River have dam in China, have many problem.
The gigantic Zaowan Dam, At 292 meters high is the world's tallest high arch dam, nearly as high as the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Its vast reservoir covers an area of 190 square kilometers.
The operation of these dams or the stations doesn't affect the water flow of the Mekong River, so it doesn't affect the water flow of Mekong.
Australian Mekong specialist Philip Hirsch has a very different assessment of these dams.
The Siawan Dam and the Nuachadu Dam are of a quite different order. These are dams that are going to fundamentally and permanently affect the flow, the hydrological regime of the Mekong, all the way through the system.
Thai teacher Kuti points out China has not changed its policy at all.
คิดถึงแม่น้ำโขงนะครับส่งจิตใจหากันวันไหนถ้ายังไม่มีการแก้ปัญหาเราจะกลับมาอีกใช่ไหมครับพี่น้อง
China still plans to build 4 more dams without any consultation with the communities that live downstream. The headlong rush of hydropower plans to build ever more dams continues. China has scheduled a total of 8 dams on the upper Mekong. On the lower Mekong, 11 more dams are being promoted in Laos and Cambodia.
I would really propose to slow down the pace and take a kind of time out and look at the feasibility of the whole process and also consider alternative developments.
How is it possible that a company could even consider erecting a dam only a few kilometers away from the rapturous beauty of the Khon waterfall in Laos? Sipandon district of Laos is known as 4,000 Islands, a pristine wonder of nature. It is central to the development of Laos as an eco-tourism leader in the region. Malaysian company MegaFirst plans to build a dam right here.
Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand depend on Husahong because the fish migrate from downstream to upstream and then upstream to downstream. So if they block this channel, I'm not sure if we will get fish to eat. The food security, the people's life and people's future depend on Husahong.
The Lao government isn't conducting any studies regarding this project. The Lao government has to rely purely on the information that's provided by the company, which essentially means that they've got the fox guarding the hen house.
The Don Sahong Dam project and 2 more dams across the border in Cambodia, in Stung Treng and Sambor, would be the final blow to the survival of Mekong's dolphin population.
This is the last remaining habitat of the Irrawaddy dolphin in the Mekong. So a dam anywhere on the Mekong would have probably a devastating effect on the dolphins. The Irrawaddy dolphin has long been almost a sacred animal in Cambodia, certainly a revered animal in Cambodia.
Cambodian people totally depend on fishery, as I mentioned, in terms of consumption rate, in terms of protein intake. So it's worth about 250 million US dollar at the landing site. And this value contribute to like 8 to 12% of the total GDP of Cambodia. It's very high. And accounting for more than 30% of the primary production is agriculture. So fishery sector is very important in terms of nutrition, in terms of economic, in terms of employment, and in terms of biodiversity, and also in terms of tourism.
People in Cambodia, the economic systems here, in particular the agriculture, is adapted to a river that floods nearly every year. The floods bring the water that's necessary to irrigate the rice fields. The floods also bring the sediments and nutrients that are essential to maintaining the fertility of the soil. So if somehow this cycle of flooding is somehow controlled or interrupted or even modified to a relatively small degree, that could potentially have enormous impacts on agricultural systems, food security in Cambodia. Fishery of the Mekong, which we've discussed as being the most productive and important in the world, largely depends on that flood pulse that comes every year. As you know, there's this remarkable phenomenon where the river that connects Tonle Sap, the great Cambodian lake, with the Mekong, reverses its flow every year. When the Mekong is high, water flows into Tonle Sap. The area of the lake at Tonle Sap expands 4 or 5 times. The fish are able to go out into the flooded forest to breed and to feed. This essentially becomes an incredibly productive nursery for the fisheries. The fish then come back down the river into the Mekong and migrate up the river as far as Thailand.
You know, according to that study, there are 1,000 fish species along the Mekong, and majority of the fish species, they need to migrate in order to give birth of the new fish, you know, from the upstream.
Any modification of the hydrology of the Mekong puts this incredible system at risk.
And at risk is the greatest inland fisheries in the world, which is catching around 3.9 million tons of fish a year, valued at nearly $3 billion.
This is a basin which has the largest inland fishery in the world and the second most diverse after the Amazon. So the fisheries issue is the #1 issue that has to be solved, and the onus for demonstrating that that can be solved rests with the promoter of these projects.
The Sayaburi Dam is highly significant. It's the first dam, if it goes ahead, that will be built on the Mekong mainstream outside of China. It's significant in its own right. The World Wildlife Fund for Nature recently issued a report saying that the giant catfish, the iconic species of the Mekong, will go extinct if Sayaburi and nearby dams go ahead. In that section of the river, 41 other species are likely to go extinct, because if the Sayaburi Dam goes ahead, it just opens, excuse the pun, it opens the floodgates for the rest of the Mekong mainstream dams to go ahead. In effect, once you've got Sayaburi, you've got the lot.
I think Sayaburi Dam is a dangerous building for the people in Mekong River. Everybody want to money from Mekong River, make dam for electric. Easy for make money, easy.
This $3.8 billion project for the Sayaburi Dam is funded by the 4 biggest Thai banks. 95% of the electricity will be sold to Thailand. The dam builder, Bangkok's Cho Kan Chang Corporation, plans to make a handsome profit. The opposition is growing among the citizens of the Mekong. They demand the dam builders respect the international nature of this river and the rights of the citizens of the Mekong, shared by 6 nations.
I think the development have different dimensions. If you're talking about infrastructure development, you could see, you know, the building of bridge, dam, and things like that. But also, there are many social development, you know, to build the livelihood of the people, in particular the poor and vulnerable groups. You have to thinking about the development for whom. It is important for the developer or the government to think